Queries. In this lesson, we're going to go more in depth and talk about queries. You should have already created your tables within your database as your assignment for the last lesson. If you haven't done so, please take the time to do it now. You'll need to have it finished in order to successfully complete the rest of this course. If you want to review, add or change data in your database, you can use a query. Using a query can make it quicker because you can ask specific questions about the data in your database that would be too hard or time consuming to answer by looking through your data. Queries can also filter data, perform calculations, and summarize data. In addition, they can automate data management tasks and review changes before you make those changes permanent. Of course, you can also use a query to supply data to a report. There are many types and variations of queries in Access. For now though, let's keep it simple so you can get comfortable with the queries, and going more in depth is as easy as putting Cheez Whiz on a cracker. The types of queries we're going to talk about in this lesson are the types you'll find in the Query Wizard. These types are a simple query, a crosstab query, a find duplicates query, and find unmatched query. In this lesson, we're going to learn about these 4 queries and how to complete them using the wizard. Queries are the errand boys of Access 2013. You ask them a question regarding your data, and they bring you the answer. In this course, you're going to learn a lot about queries and the complicated tasks that they can do that make your job easy. However, for now, we're going to learn about how you can use a query to navigate your table. As we said, the query is your errand boy. So, let's say that you wanted to find a certain type of data within a table. The tables we created as examples are simple tables that aren't overloaded with fields and rows, but in a real database, this wouldn't be the case. Here's the table we're going to use. As you can see, for our database, we've decided to create tables for books. Our database will store a book collection. Now let's say we want to see all the authors that we have in our collection, and that's the only data we want to see. If we had 50 columns of data, along with hundreds of rows, it could get overwhelming. To find the authors, we're going to run a query to find them. To do this, click on the Create tab on the ribbon. Next, click on the Query Wizard. Once you click the Query Wizard, this dialog box will open. Select Simple Query Wizard and click OK. Select Table Books from the Tables and Queries drop-down box if it's not already selected. In this screen, we're going to select the author on the left of the dialog box, and then push the top arrow button. This puts the author in the selected field section. Click Next. The next window asks us to name the query. Then we can either open the query or modify the design. For now, let's just open the query. Click Finish. You can now see your query. We already have an author query, so maybe we'd have created a query to find the page numbers in books, cover price, or any other information. This is just an example to show you how easy it is. Your query now appears in the navigation pane. A crosstab query takes rows or records of data and transforms them into columns. Let's show you how to do it so you can get a good visualization. Once again, go to the Query Wizard by clicking on the Create tab button. Click on Crosstab Query Wizard and click OK. Select a table or query if you've already performed a query that contains the fields that you want for the crosstab query. If you select a table which has no data, you'll get an error message. This is very important for you to remember going forward. In order to perform a crosstab query, you must have a table or query with at least 3 numeric, date or text fields. So we're going to select Books, just so we can show you how to do a crosstab query. Now we can select which fields we want to be as the row headings. We're going to select Title. Click on Next. Now we're asked to select column headings. We're going to select Author and then click on Next. Now you're asked to select the field that you want calculated in the query on the left. You're also asked to select a function from the right that will calculate and put the data in the query. We're going to select ISBN as the field and count as the function. You'll learn about all these functions over the next few lessons, so don't fret with them right now. Click Next. Name your query and then leave the View Query button selected to view the query. Click Finish. This is the query that you'll get. You can see the number of ISBNs under the corresponding author. However, let's play with our books table to show you even more what a crosstab query can do. Let's use the price for each book in the books table instead of the ISBN. Just keep in mind that these are real book titles and authors, but fictional prices. Here's our books table again. Let's do another crosstab query. Our row headings and column headings will stay the same as they were in the other query. The only difference is in the screen where we select the fields and functions, we select price and average. Query Wizard, cross-tab query. Leave it as Table Books. Select Title and move that to the right. Select Author and click Next. Now we select Price and leave it as Average. Click Next and then click Finish. And here's our results. You can also use a query to find duplicate data in your tables. This makes normalization easier. To do this, go back to the Query Wizard and select Find Duplicates Query Wizard. Click OK. Let's select Books again in this example and click Next. Now let's select the Author field because that's where we want to look for duplicates. And then click Next. If you want the query to show any other fields, pick those in this screen. Perhaps you wanted to see the book titles besides the duplicate authors. But you don't have to select anything. Click Next. Now you can name your query. Click Finish once you've named it. Now you'll see the query. You can see the duplicate data in the author column, along with the titles that we requested to show alongside that information. If you want to compare tables to identify records in one table that don't have any corresponding records in another table, you can use the unmatched query. Let's learn how to do this. Go to the Create tab and click on the Query Wizard again. By now, you know exactly where that is. Click on Find Unmatched Query Wizard and then click OK. Now select the table that has unmatched records. For this example, using our tables, if we had a list of books in our Books table, but there wasn't an order for that book in the Orders table, we would select Books table. Click on Next. Now select the table that's related. In this case, we only have one selection. Then click Next. Now, find fields that have two tables in common, as shown here. They may be already selected, as they are related. In this case, we would select the ISBN fields, and then click Next. Now, select the field that you want displayed in the query, such as ISBN, Author, or Title. Click on Next. Now you can name your query and click Finish. This is our result. This shows that we have orders for all books except for those listed here. As you can clearly see, you can use queries to find data in your tables or other queries. However, you can also use the sort and filter to find data. When you filter data, only the records with values that you specify will show. The rest of the data will remain hidden unless you remove the filter. Access has filters that are built into every view for you. If you can use the filter or not depends on the type and the values of the field. For example, you can't filter columns in datasheets or controls in forms that are bound to expressions. That will make sense to you in just a few lessons. Let's say we want to view our books in the Books table that cost a certain price. To do this, go to the Home tab. First, we're going to go back to our table and select the Price column. Then we're going to go to the Sort and Filter group on the ribbon and click on Selection. We want to see books that do not equal $25. We could also click Between On to select a certain range. You can see our results have been updated. Click the toggle filter on the ribbon to see filtered or unfiltered results. You can also use access filters for a certain data type. These filters are menu commands in the following views: Datasheet, Form, Report, and Layout. You can use these filters. Common filters filter for specific values or range of values. Filter by Selection filters all rows in that table that match a selected value in a row. This filters a datasheet view. Filter by Form filters several fields in a formal datasheet, or if you're looking for a specific record. Click on the Advanced in the Sort and Filter group to use this filter. The Advanced filter is a filter type where you define the filter criteria. Click Advanced in the ribbon, then click Advanced Filter and Sort. We'll learn about criteria in just a few minutes. The Sort feature is also located in the Sort and Filter group on the ribbon. You can sort your data ascending from A to Z or descending from Z to A. Select the field of data that you want to sort and click either Ascending or Descending. You can also click Remove Sort.